Well, folks, it seems diplomacy took a bit of a nosedive in the Oval Office recently. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, former US President Donald Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance had a meeting. It was about a mineral rights deal. And let's just say, it got a little heated. Tensions flared, accusations flew. Think Real Housewives, but with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. The meeting's fallout, calls for Zelensky's resignation. Yeah, things got messy. The heart of the issue? A proposed deal granting the US access to Ukraine's mineral wealth. Think of it like your neighbor asking to borrow a cup of sugar, except the sugar is a vast reserve of valuable resources. Zelensky wanted security guarantees in return. A reasonable request, you might think. However, Trump and Vance weren't convinced. They accused Zelensky of not being ready for peace. They felt he wasn't showing enough gratitude for US support. It was like a tense family dinner where everyone's arguing over who ate the last slice of pie. Adding fuel to the fire, House Speaker Mike Johnson chimed in. He argued the deal itself was a security guarantee. His logic, economic partnership and US defense of its interests would naturally follow. Essentially, he was saying, we're already doing you a favor by taking your minerals. What more do you want? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. The meeting was a train wreck. It left the relationship between the US and Ukraine teetering on the brink. The big question now is, can they pick up the pieces, or is this the start of a diplomatic Cold War? The fallout from the Zelensky-Trump Vance showdown was swift and brutal. Calls for Zelensky's resignation echoed from certain corners of American politics. Leading the charge was none other than Senator Lindsey Graham. He didn't mince words, calling the meeting a disaster, and questioning Zelensky's ability to work with the US. Joining the chorus was House Speaker Mike Johnson, who suggested Zelensky needed to come to his senses or step down. It seems Zelensky had become public enemy number one for a segment of the American political elite. Adding insult to injury, even Trump himself weighed in. He suggested Zelensky could return for discussions when he was ready for peace. It was a thinly veiled threat, implying that continued US support hinged on Zelensky's willingness to play ball. The message was clear: toe the line or face the consequences. These calls for resignation, however, weren't universally embraced. A stark political divide emerged. While some Republicans like Graham and Johnson were sharpening their knives, others, like Senator James Lankford, urged caution. They feared forcing Zelensky out could destabilize Ukraine and play into Putin's hands. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats like Senator Bernie Sanders slammed the suggestion as horrific, emphasizing Zelensky's vital role in defending democracy against Russian aggression. The debate over Zelensky's fate had become a microcosm of America's own fractured political landscape. The pressure on Zelensky was immense. Caught in the crosshairs of American political maneuvering, he was faced with an impossible dilemma: appease his critics and risk appearing weak, or stand his ground and jeopardize crucial US support. Zelensky, however, wasn't about to take these attacks lying down. Faced with mounting pressure, he responded with a mix of defiance and wit. When Graham suggested he step down, Zelensky offered him Ukrainian citizenship. The implication was clear: you don't get to dictate the leadership of a sovereign nation from the sidelines. It was a brilliant piece of political maneuvering, highlighting the absurdity of foreign interference in domestic affairs. Zelensky didn't stop there. He went on to argue that it was fundamentally undemocratic for foreign nationals to meddle in Ukraine's internal matters. His message resonated with many, both in Ukraine and abroad. It was a powerful reminder that democracy isn't just about elections. It's about respecting the will of the people and their right to choose their own leaders. His response to Graham's resignation suggestion was a masterclass in political satire. He suggested Graham move to Ukraine if he wanted his opinion on Ukrainian leadership to carry more weight. The underlying message was sharp: if you want to have a say, then become a stakeholder. Don't try to dictate our future from the comfort of your Senate seat. Zelensky's stand wasn't just about defending his own position, it was about defending the principles of democracy and national sovereignty. He refused to be bullied by foreign powers, no matter how powerful. It was a courageous stance, one that resonated with those who believe in a world where nations, big or small, have the right to determine their own destiny.